Good evening and welcome back to my channel. I have something different for you today or tonight. I was looking in a thrift store today and I found this cute book. I'm going to read this book for you. It's called How Many Days Until America? A Thanksgiving Story by Eve Bunting, illustrated by Beth Peck. We're just going to get into this story. I thought it was a cute little story, so I purchased it and it cost me a whole 49 cents to purchase this. Okay, it begins. It was nice in our village till the night in October when the soldiers came. My mother hid my little sister and me under the bed. When I peered out, I could see my mother's feet in their black slippers in the great muddy boots of the soldiers. When they were gone, my father said, "We must leave right now." "Why?" I asked. "Because we do not think the way that they think, my son. Hurry!" He would not let us take anything but a change of clothes. My mother cried, "Leave all my things, my chair where I sat to nurse our children, the bed cover that my mother made, every stitch by hand?" "Nothing," my father said. "Just money to buy our way to America." The word America was not new to me. I heard it whispered between my parents in the restless hours of the night. America. We were going there? Others, too, moved silently along the secret streets. Boats bobbed in the dark water off the quay, and the men talked behind their hands while gold passed from one pocket to another. "I must have our wedding ring," my father told my mother, "and your garnets." My mother took the ring from her finger and the garnet necklace from its little bag, buried deep in her bundle. She did not speak. My father said we would leave while it was still dark. "How many days to America?" my little sister asked. "Not many," my father said. "Don't be afraid." The fishing boat was small, and there were many people. More kept coming and more. We chugged heavily from the harbor to open ocean. "Can we see America yet, Papa?" All the time my little sister asked questions. "Not yet," my father said. We were an hour from shore when the motor stopped. The men crowded the engines. "A part is broken that cannot be fixed," my father told my mother, and her face twisted in the way it did when she closed the door of our home for the last time. The women made a sail by knotting clothes together, and when they pulled it high, I saw my father's Sunday shirt blowing in the wind. But the sail carried us back toward our own shore, and the men shot at us from the cliffs. At last we got the boat turned in the right direction. "How many days to America now?" my little sister asked. "More, my small one," my father said, and held us close. I saw him look at my mother's across our heads. Day followed night, and night day. Our food and water ran out, and many people were sick. At sunset, my father and mother and sister and I huddled in the bow. Then my father sang, as he sang at home, "Sleep and dream, tomorrow comes, and we shall all be free." That was the only time I was not afraid. One day we fished and shared the catch. When it rained, we caught the water in our buckets. I slept and dreamed of home, of food, of my favorite uncle who worked with my father in his shop and who had stayed behind. Sometimes I cried, and then my mother would rock me against her. Once we saw a whale, gray as an elephant and covered with barnacles. "Come, push us, whale," my mother called. "Push us to America." But the whale did not hear. Once a boat came, roaring close on wings of foam, and we were filled with joy, but not for long. Thieves fear moved like a bad wind between us. Men scrambled from the other boat to ours, waving their guns, shouting for money and jewels. There was little to take, but what we had went with them. Once there was a shout of "land," and we crowded the railing, but though we pulled on the sail, our boat would not go no closer. "We will swim for help," my father said, and he and two others jumped into the water. "No!" my mother cried, but they were gone already. When at last we saw them arise on the green roll of the surf, saw them carried to a shore, we danced and cheered. But there were soldiers on the rocks. Everyone was quiet, and my mother gripped my hand. "They are bringing them back," she whispered. Three soldiers with rifles came too in a small boat. They brought us water and fruit, but they did not speak or smile as they tossed it up to our waiting hands. "Was it not the right land, Papa?" I asked as the soldiers pulled away. "Will it not do?" "It would do, but they will not take us," my father said. My sister tugged at his arm. "They don't like us?" "It is not that." He did not explain what it was. Our family got 2 papayas and 3 lemons and a coconut with milk that tasted like flowers. The sea was rough that night, and my father's song lost itself in the wind. I said the words as the stars dipped and turned above our heads. Tomorrow comes, and we shall all be free." It was the next day, the tomorrow, that we all sighted land again. I was afraid to hope. A boat came. My mother clasped her hands and bent her head. Was she afraid to hope too? The boat circled us twice, and then a line was thrown, and we were pulled toward shore. There was such a silence among us, then such an anxious, watchful silence. People waited on the dock, "Welcome," they called. "Welcome to America." That was when our silence turned to cheers. "But how did they know we would come today?" my father asked. "Perhaps people come every day," my mother said. "Perhaps they understand how it is for us." There was a shed, warm from the sun on its tin roof. There were tables covered with food. Though the benches were crowded, there was room for all of us. "Do you know what day this is?" a woman asked me. She passed me a dinner plate. "It is the Coming to America Day," I said. She smiled. "Yes, and it is special for another reason too. Today is Thanksgiving." "What is that?" My little sister was shy, but not too shy to ask her questions. "Long ago, unhappy people came here to start new lives," the woman said. "They celebrated by giving thanks." My father nodded. "That is the only true way to celebrate." Isn't that so true? We joined hands and closed our eyes while my father gave thanks that we were free and safe and here. "Can we stay, Papa?" my little sister asked. "Yes, small one," my father said. "We can stay." And that's the end of the story. No, I read that story because there's so many things that's happened in America that are Democrats. You know, we're supposed to live in a democratic society, but a lot of our freedoms are getting taken away from us during this last presidency. Our president is deporting people that came over for political reasons, for political asylum, and for other reasons for asylum to protect themselves and their families. And our president of the United States are deporting people from other countries. And as the book said, there is many people who came over to America because they wanted to get away from the persecution of the English church, or the English church, because they didn't want to bow down to the English church. Now today, I hope you understand that we have to somehow get involved, because what's happening in Washington is going to touch each and every one of our lives as we know it today. If this bill passes the Senate, it's called Trump calls it the big, beautiful bill, but actually it's a big, terrible bill, because it actually takes away Medicare from a lot of people who need it. A lot of people who cannot work, a lot of disabled people, a lot of people who are in nursing homes who cannot work because they're elderly, because they don't have their right minds. They may have dementia or something ailing them that they cannot work. They're going to take that away from them. But it also is giving the president more power to give the billionaires tax cuts, tax breaks on their taxes. And that's silly because majority of people live below poverty in the United States. We're the richest country in the world, one of the richest countries in the world, and a lot of our people live below poverty levels. Why is that? Because the billionaires get tax breaks more than us poor people do. So we have to do something. We have to either spread the word on YouTube like I'm trying to do, or we have to get out and protest, or get a hold of our senators, our congressmen, whoever we can, to let them know we do not want this bill passed. If you like the content, I would love it if you would subscribe, leave a comment, and of course, smash that thumbs up button. And as always, thank you, and may God bless you.